The galaxy was quiet on that cold morning. The Grand Empire's border station, Helion Gate, floated calmly above a blue-green planet, its metal surface shining under the dim light of a dying sun. The officers inside worked slowly, bored as always. Nothing ever happened here. No attacks. No rebellions. No surprises. Only peace, routines, and long silent hours. Commander Varel, an old reptilian veteran of many wars, stood beside a large viewing window, sipping a hot drink. His voice echoed across the command deck as he said, "Humans. Weak, scattered creatures. I doubt we will ever see them again." The officers laughed softly. Everyone remembered humanity, the strange young species that once tried to claim its place in the galaxy. The Empire crushed them long ago. Most believed humans were now extinct or hiding in broken colonies, too weak to rise again. Everything seemed normal, until the sensors started to scream. A sudden alarm burst across the room. Red lights flashed. Screens lit up with strange symbols. Officers jumped from their seats. "Commander!" An officer shouted, his hands shaking. "We are detecting something huge." Commander Varel frowned. "Is it an asteroid?" "No, sir." The officer replied, "It's coming too fast." "And the signal?" "The signal is nothing like we have seen before. More alarms. More warnings." The calm morning shattered like glass. Another officer called out from the scanning station. Her voice was trembling. "Sir, something is entering the system." Varel stepped closer. "Identify it." "I can't," the officer whispered. "The readings are too strong. Our scanners cannot break through the interference." The commander felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. The screen flickered violently, then stabilized, revealing massive shapes moving in the darkness of space. Large, silent. "Strange. What are those?" Varel whispered. The shapes grew clearer. Huge metallic silhouettes. Triangular shadows. Columns of armored hulls stretching far behind. A fleet. A gigantic fleet. "Sir!" An officer cried out. "It is an armada." The command deck fell completely silent as everyone stared at the screen. More ships emerged from the shadow. 10, 20, 30, more than 50. Every single one carried the same dark color. No lights, no signals, no identification. Just cold, silent strength. Varel's heart pounded. "Contact them," he ordered. The communication officer worked as fast as he could. "No response, sir." "They are not answering." "Send again." Nothing. The ships remained silent, still moving forward with slow, terrifying confidence. The Empire had seen many fleets before from other species. But this one felt different, older, heavier, deadlier. An officer suddenly gasped. "Sir, I have a match. Partial identification." Everyone turned to him. The officer swallowed hard. "These designs, they are human." Silence. Even the machines seemed to stop humming for a moment. Commander Varel stared at him. "That is impossible." "Sir," the officer insisted, "the hull markings, the energy signatures, the formation pattern, it all matches old human records." "But humans cannot build ships like these," Varel said, voice cracking. "They were defeated centuries ago. Their technology was primitive." "No longer, sir," the officer whispered. On the screen, one ship moved forward larger than any Empire dreadnought. Its armor plates looked thick enough to shrug off planet-level weapons. Its engines burned with a strange blue-white glow. Everyone on the deck felt the same cold fear. This was not the humanity they remembered. This was something else. "Hey!" Deep sound vibrated through the Empire station like a distant storm, but in space. The Human Armada stretched wider and wider, forming a wall of metal giants. "They are surrounding us," an officer said. voice shaking. "Why?" Varel said. "Why would humans come here?" No one answered. Then, suddenly, the entire human fleet stopped. Not one ship moved. Not one weapon fired. They simply remained still, watching. It was the most terrifying silence anyone in the Empire had ever felt. A young officer whispered, "Sir, what if they came for revenge?" Another added, "What if they built their power in secret? What if we never crushed them at all?" Commander Varel felt a deep sinking feeling in his chest. Centuries ago, the Empire had forced humans out of their territory. They believed humans were broken, forgotten, powerless. Now thousands of metallic giants stood in front of them. Their engines glowed with ancient fire. Their weapons hummed with unknown energy. Their silent formation felt like a storm, waiting to strike. Then the screen flickered. Again, a single message. Arrived. Short, calm, cold. Imperial Command. Do not interfere. The officers froze. Their hearts stopped. Sweat rolled down their backs. If humans could send an armada like this, without warning, what else were they capable of? Commander Varel slowly stepped back, unable to speak. He realized something terrible. The Empire was no longer the strongest force in the galaxy. Humanity had returned, and they were stronger than ever. The command deck of Hylian Gate felt colder than before. No one moved. No one spoke. The message from the Human Armada echoed in every mind. Imperial Command. Do not interfere. Commander Varel forced himself to breathe. His scales twitched with anxiety as he looked around the room. What do they want? He finally asked. No one had an answer. Officer Lena, the youngest on the deck, checked her screen again. Her fingers shook as she worked. Sir, the human fleet is scanning the system. Scanning for what? Varel asked. Everything, she whispered. Wave after wave of invisible energy swept across the Empire's border space. Stations, ships, satellites, even the planet below, everything was being scanned with precision far beyond the Empire's technology. Varel stared at the readings. How are they doing that? Our systems normally block deep-range scans. They overpowered our defenses in seconds, another officer said. Their tech? It is far beyond ours. Fear spread again. Empire scientists once studied old human machines. They were simple, crude, almost childish compared to Empire technology. But these new human ships, there was nothing simple about them. One of the officers zoomed in on the largest ship in the Armada. Sir, this class of ship, it is not in any records. The armor was thick, layered, glowing faintly with some unknown energy. The engines pulsed like living stars. Varel narrowed his eyes. This ship, it is bigger than our Imperial Titan-class battleships. It is bigger than 3 Titan-class ships, the officer replied. The room fell silent again. How did humans build ships like this? Another officer asked. Where did they find the resources? Maybe they found new worlds, someone suggested. Maybe they found allies, another said. Or maybe, Lena whispered, maybe they built their own hidden empire. Everyone stared at her. A hidden human empire? Impossible. Ridiculous. Yet, the Armada outside said otherwise. Varel walked to the center of the deck. Continue attempts to contact them. The communication officer tried again. Human fleet, this is Imperial Command. State your purpose. The screen crackled with static. Then a voice returned. Calm, steady, cold. Stand down. You have no authority here. The officer swallowed hard. Sir, they are blocking all communication back to the Central Empire. What? Varel shouted. They hacked our network? Yes, sir, the officer said. We cannot send messages out. We cannot call reinforcements. That changed everything. The Empire never expected to face an enemy that could silence them so easily. A senior tactician, old and slow, finally spoke. "Commander, maybe we should prepare our weapons." "No." Varel raised a shaking hand. Everyone stared at him. "Sir, should we not defend ourselves?" Varel pointed at the screen. "If that armada wanted us dead, we would already be dust. Our weapons would do nothing." The tactician lowered his head. He knew the commander was right. The Empire's strongest fleets were far away. Their nearest reinforcements were days, maybe weeks, from Helion Gate. The border station was a lone dot, and the Human Armada. It was right there. Watching Dot suddenly, Officer Lena gasped. "Commander, we're detecting movement." The screen zoomed out and showed dozens of human ships shifting formation. They spread out like wings, surrounding the entire star system. "We are trapped," the tactician whisperer. "No," Varel said quietly. "We are being studied." The sensors continued to collect information from the system. The planets, the moons, the gas clouds, the debris fields. "This is not random scanning," Lena said. "They are searching for something specific." Varel's voice hardened. "Search for what?" Lena shook her head. "Unknown." Another officer zoomed in on smaller human ships moving deeper toward the planet below. "Sir, they are scanning the surface population centers." "For invasion?" someone asked. "For revenge?" Another muttered. "No," Lena said again. "Something else." For the first time, Varel noticed something strange. The humans were not aiming weapons. They were not sending threats. They were not demanding tribute. They were searching. Focused, precise, determined. As if they lost something. As if something had been taken. Varel stepped back from the screen as a terrible thought struck him. What if? He whispered, "They are looking for humans?" The room froze. Everyone remembered the rumors, the old stories of a missing human colony that vanished decades ago inside Imperial space. The Empire denied having any part of it. But those were only stories, right? Officer Lina looked pale. "Commander, what if the humans believe the Empire hid something from them?" Varel felt his chest tighten. "If that is true, then the galaxy is in danger." The tactician turned to him. "What do we do, Commander?" Varel watched the massive human armada, dark and silent, surrounding them like giants of an ancient age. "We wait," he said quietly, "and we hope they do not find what they are searching for. Because if they did, the Empire would not survive their anger." The human armada moved like a silent storm across the star system. Every ship glowed with cold blue lights as they continued scanning the planet below. Inside Helion Gate, every officer watched the screen with fear tightening their chests. Commander Varel stood stiff at the center of the deck. "Report." Officer Lena studied the data, her voice shaky. "Sir, the human fleet has activated a new energy pattern. Something big." "Define big," Varel demanded. Lena swallowed. "I can't. Our sensors cannot read the full power level. It is far beyond our detection limits." The commander's tail twitched nervously. "Are they preparing to fire?" "No, sir," she said, "but something is charging." A deep vibration rolled through space. Not a weapon. Not an engine. Something else. Every light on the Empire station flickered for a second. Then again. The officers panicked. "Sir, our systems are unstable." The tactician shouted. Shields dropping, communications failing, computers resetting. Varel's eyes widened. "What happened?" Lena stared at the readings. "Sir, the humans released an energy pulse." "An attack?" Varel asked. "No. More like—" She hesitated, then whispered, "A warning." The vibration grew stronger. The Empire station trembled as if under pressure from a force it could not see. Screens flickered with static. The gravity field shook for a moment. And then everything went dark. The entire Empire station lost power. Lights off. Weapons off. Engines off. Even life support froze. Complete silence. Only emergency lamps glowed faint red. Officers gasped. Someone screamed. A few grabbed onto support rails, terrified the station might fall from orbit. "Sir?" An officer shouted. "We have lost all systems." "That is impossible." Varel barked. "We have triple backups." "They are offline too." The officer cried. "Everything is dead?" The whole deck felt like a tomb. Varel's heart hammered in his chest. "How long until the power returns?" Officer Lena looked terrified. 10 seconds. "Maybe less. 10 seconds?" Varel whispered. "How can humans shut down an entire station for 10 seconds?" "Not just our station," another officer said quietly. "Every Imperial ship in range is offline, disabled. The entire Empire border force, crushed in an instant. Without a single shot fired, seconds passed like minutes. Then the lights flickered back on, one section at a time. Screens rebooted. Engines restarted. Shields activated again. Life support returned with a soft, steady hum, but the officers did not celebrate. They stared at each other, trembling. If humans wanted to destroy them, those 10 seconds were enough. Commander Varel spoke in a quiet, shaking voice. This was no attack. This was a message. A message written in pure power. The Human Armada still hovered silently outside the station. Not one of their ships showed stress. Not one had dimmed. Not one even flickered. "They shut us down," Varel said, "like turning off a toy." An officer whispered, "Sir, are humans gods now?" "No," Varel replied, "but they might be something close." Suddenly, the screen flashed again. Incoming transmission. The command deck fell silent. Everyone stared at the message as it appeared. A human voice spoke calm, controlled, confident. Imperial Command. "Do not attempt resistance again." The tone held no anger, no hatred. Just certainty. As if the entire Empire was beneath them. Another officer gulped. "Sir, they are not here to bargain." Varel nodded slowly. "No, they are here for something important. Something they are willing to fight for." Officer Lena checked her panel again. "Sir, they increased their scanning intensity. They're focusing on the planet. What are they searching for?" The tactician asked. "Not resources," Lena said. "Not ships. Not bases." She looked up, eyes wide with fear. "They are searching for humans." Varel's blood ran cold. A long-forgotten accident resurfaced in his memory. The missing human colony that vanished years ago. The Empire had always denied involvement. But rumors spread across the stars. Whispers of captured humans. A secret research project. A hidden Imperial facility. Varel suddenly understood. The Human Armada was not here to conquer, that it was here to uncover the truth. A truth the Empire never wanted to face. "Sir," an officer yelled. Multiple human ships breaking formation. "They're moving toward the lower atmosphere." Varel gripped the railing. "Are they attacking?" "No," the officer said. "They are heading toward the Imperial research sector on the planet." Everyone froze. The research sector. The place the Empire never spoke about. The place where classified experiments were done. The place where the rumors pointed. Officer Lena whispered, horrified, "Sir, what if the Empire really did take humans?" Varel closed his eyes. If that was true, then the Human Armada wasn't here to warn, that it was here to judge. The human ships moved in perfect formation, gliding toward the planet like silent shadows. Their engines did not roar. Their weapons did not glow, but their presence felt heavier than any Empire fleet ever produced. Inside Helion Gate, fear crawled through the command deck. Commander Varel stared at the screen, watching the human ships descend. Track their path. Officer Lina zoomed in on the map. Her voice trembled with every word. Sir, they are heading straight toward Sector 9. Sector 9, the most secret part of the planet. A restricted zone. Only high-ranking Imperial scientists and guards were allowed there. The officers exchanged frightened looks. The tactician whispered, "They know." Varel's jaw tightened. "Know what?" No one wanted to say it. Lina finally forced the words out. "Sir, they know about the research base." The room fell silent. The research base was not on any map. It was not listed in any official records. Even most of the Empire did not know it existed. And yet, the humans found it instantly. More alerts flashed on the screen. "Sir," an officer shouted, "the humans are scanning inside the base." "How?" Varel demanded. "It's shielded." "They broke through the shields like paper," the officer replied. The commander felt the weight of the moment. He knew what Sector 9 held. He knew what the Empire hid there. But he never thought humans would discover it. And now, the truth could no longer be hidden. Down on the planet, deep underground, the Imperial research base was in chaos. Guards shouted. Scientists ran through hallways. Sirens blared. Inside a large chamber, behind thick glass walls, sat the source of the secret. Human survivors. Men, women, even children. Weak, hungry, terrified. Eyes followed every sound. They had been missing for years. Kidnapped, studied, used. For experiments. The Empire always told the galaxy. They died in an accident. But it was a lie. The base commander yelled orders. Increase the shield power. Hide the lower cells. Destroy the evidence if needed. But the human ships overhead had already seen too much. Back on Helion Gate, Lina's face went pale. "Sir, the humans sent another message." "Put it on screen," Varel said, though fear tightened his voice. The message appeared calm, direct, uncheckable. "Return our people." The officers froze. Another line appeared. All of them. Varel felt the deck under him grow heavier. Humanity wasn't guessing. They knew. They knew everything. Officer Lina whispered, "Sir, they must have tracked the colony survivors somehow. They followed the signal here." Varel exhaled slowly. "No wonder they came with an armada." The tactician lowered his head. "If they know we experimented on humans, they will destroy us." Another alert flashed. "Sir, human landing crafts are deploying." The screen showed dozens of small vessels descending toward Sector 9. They moved with smooth speed, landing precisely around the hidden base. The Empire soldiers on the planet scrambled to respond, but they were outmatched. The human crafts created a shimmering barrier and energy dome that blocked all Empire units. Inside the dome, human soldiers emerged. Tall, armored, silent. Their armor glowed with the same blue-white energy as their ships. Their weapons looked advanced, far beyond anything the Empire created. Varel watched in awe. If this is their ground force, the Empire has no chance. The tactician stood beside him. "Sir, we should request guidance from the Central Empire." "We cannot," Varel said. "Our long-range comms are still blocked." Then what do we do?" Varel closed his eyes. "We watch." Down on the planet, the human soldiers reached the base doors. The thick metal doors designed to withstand bombardment began to crack. The lights flickered. The walls shook. One of the scientists screamed, "They're breaking in. We can't stop them." The doors exploded outward. Human soldiers stepped inside with calm confidence. They did not shoot. They did not shout. They simply walked through the corridor, heading straight toward the containment chambers. One soldier approached the glass room holding the human survivors. The survivors looked up, weak, confused, hopeful. The soldier touched the glass. The lock released instantly. The Empire guards panicked. "Stop them! Stop them!" But the human soldier raised a hand. A soft wave of energy pushed every guard back, not hurting them, just freezing them in place. A female survivor cried, Are you here to take us home?" The soldier nodded softly. "We never stopped looking." Tears fell across the room. On Helion Gate, Varel watched the rescue unfold. He realized something deep in his chest. The Human Armada did not return for war, or conquest, or revenge. They returned for family. And they would tear down any empire that stood between them and their people. The news spread through Helion Gate like wildfire. Humans had broken into the secret Imperial base. Humans had found their missing people. Humans had taken them back. Commander Varel stood frozen in front of the main screen. His officers waited for orders, but even he didn't know what to say. The tactician finally spoke. "Sir, what now? Should we prepare to fight?" Varel looked at the Human Armada. Thousands of ships, silent, waiting, watching. He shook his head. "Fight? With what? They disabled our entire station with a single pulse. If they attack us, we won't survive a second." The command deck stayed quiet. Down on the planet, human soldiers escorted the rescued survivors out of the ruined research facility. Some survivors could walk. Some needed help. Some were carried gently by armored soldiers. But every survivor had the same expression: call on hope. Outside the base, the human landing crafts opened their doors. Blue lights formed a safe path as soldiers guided the rescued humans inside. One survivor looked back at the planet, whispering, "We thought you forgot us." A soldier replied, "Humans never leave their own behind." The words echoed through the dome like a promise. On Helion Gate, Lena wiped her eyes. "Sir? Look." Her screen showed images of human soldiers carrying survivors with extreme care, like family returning home. Varel felt something strange inside him. Not fear, not anger, respect. These humans, he whispered, they are stronger than before, but also more united. The tactician looked worried. "Sir, the Empire will not forgive this. They will want revenge." Varel shook his head. "Revenge against that armada? It would be suicide." Another alarm sounded. Officer Lena gasped. "Sir, the human fleet is powering weapons." The command deck broke into panic. "Are they targeting us? Are they preparing to fire? Sir, what do we do?" Varel stared at the readings. "No, they are not aiming at us." Lena pointed at the map. "Sir, they are targeting the research base." Down on the planet, the human landing crafts lifted into the air, carrying the rescued survivors safely inside. The energy dome expanded again, protecting the crafts. Then a deep hum filled space. The largest human battleship glowed white-hot, preparing a massive energy beam. Empire sensors warned. Unknown weapon detected. Power level beyond measurable limit. Varel whispered, "They're going to destroy the base." The tactician's eyes widened. "And everyone inside?" "No," Lena said. "All survivors have been evacuated. All guards have retreated. Only the labs and the secrets remain." A bright beam of pure energy burst from the human flagship. It didn't explode. It didn't burn. It erased the entire research base, buildings, tunnels, machines, and every piece of dark evidence vanished in a single flash of white light. When the light faded, only a smoking crater remained, the Empire's darkest secret had been wiped from existence. The tactician swallowed. They erased it like it was nothing. Varel nodded slowly. A message to the Empire. A warning. Lena turned to him. Sir, what do we tell the central government? Varel stared at the Armada as it began to rise, forming a new formation around the survivors' transport ship. We tell them the truth, he said. Silence filled the room. Officers exchanged nervous glances. And what is the truth, sir? Lena asked softly. Varel closed his eyes. That humanity has changed. That they have built something powerful in the shadows. That they found their own strength without us. And that we cannot defeat them now. Or ever. The tactician whispered. Will they attack us again? No, Varel said, shaking his head. They are not conquerors. They came only to rescue their people. Another alert appeared. Sir, Lena shouted. The Human Armada is preparing to leave the system. The screen showed the massive fleet turning gracefully, surrounding the survivors' transport ship like a protective shield. One final message appeared on every Imperial screen. Do not harm our kind again. We have changed. Remember this, Varel whispered. We will. A bright white flash filled the sky as the Human Armada jumped into FTL travel. One by one, their ships vanished into the void, silent, powerful. Unstoppable. The Empire sat in stunned silence. Helion. Gates' lights flickered as systems stabilized. Varel slowly walked toward the main window, staring at the empty stars. Humanity has returned, he whispered, and the galaxy will never be the same again. Across the command deck, officers remained frozen, some in fear, some in awe, some in quiet acceptance, because one truth had become clear today. Humans were no longer the weakest species in the galaxy. They were one of the strongest, and the Empire would think twice before crossing them ever again.